X-ray, X-ray, Juliet.
Yeah, Mike 0, X-ray, X-ray, Juliet, Golf 3, Mike X-ray Hotel. Yes, good afternoon, old man. I don't think we've worked before. I haven't got many contacts in the log because you're about my 22nd QSO. So good to work for UK. I wonder how you find my signal. You sound loud and clear. I'll give you a report next time round. And the name here is Terry. Tokyo Echo Radio Yankee. I'm in Juliet Oscar 02 Lima Fox between Bury St Edmunds and Ipswich in the county of, in mid-Suffolk specifically. Mike 0, X-ray, X-ray, Juliet, G3, Mike X-ray Hotel, over.
G3MXH from M0XXJ. Good afternoon there, Terry. Good to meet you. The name is John. Juliet Oscar November. In India Oscar 91 Tango Kilo, which is just near Twickenham in West London. Very, very good modulation from you, Terry. And on the SDR, I can actually see your signal is a nice 5 and 9. Very, very clear indeed. I'm also using an IC-9700 as well in sat mode, which I presume that you are doing the same sort of thing, and using a DX Patrol Groundstation, which is an all-in-one box there, Terry. But very, very good to meet you. And yes, like you, I have only amassed similar amounts of QSOs on QO-100, but very, very interesting and very enjoyable to use. I think you're my second G-land contact there, Terry. G3MXH from M0XXJ.
Yeah, M0XXJ, G3 Mike X-ray Hotel. Yeah, very fine, John, and good to work you there. Good to have a UK station. I kind of like the idea of having into working UK stations because they're really good signals and it's propagation proof. I've had some quite 40 meters can be quite difficult sometimes. I've one or two nets on 40 meters, and it's a little bit of a lottery really. But yeah, fine. And from Twickenham there, that's really good. My DX Patrol kit is separate really. The up converter and down converter are separate. I didn't buy the complete package, so I put the up converter, down converters in a box with the linear amp, with the amplifier. In a box close to an IP55 box, insulated a bit against the weather, and it's just by the dish, and I'm using a pocky type antenna, so I'm transmitting and receiving on the same dish, about an 84 centimeter dish, and that seems to be working okay. I think I can do a little bit better with my antenna. The antenna is the DX Control helical two-turn antenna, and I think it's probably not got quite enough gain. It's just about another 3D would help, I think, but we'll see. I'm still working on it. But I've got it all, and it's all working off a 12-volt battery system in the garage. The mast is mounted on the back of the garage with the dish on it, so it is completely separate from the rest of my radio equipment, John. I've got the HF gear and VHF gear on a tenor mast, a telescopic mast, just under the radio shack. So that's the range of the setup there. I haven't been monitoring you on the SDR, but you're a good signal and typical Icom audio. Really good audio, no problem at all. Mike 0, X-ray, X-ray, Juliet, G3, Mike X-ray Hotel.
G3 Mike X-Ray Hotel from Mike 0 X-Ray X-Ray Juliet. All good there, Terry. And yes, interesting setup, the way that you described it. And obviously the most important thing is to keep the feeder cable as short as possible. And yeah, I actually think that is a better way of setting up, to be quite honest with you. I'm actually, it's very Heath Robinson, Terry, but I'm in the conservatory on this sort of temporary table where I've got the all-in-one ground station and the 9700, and then right outside on the patio, which is 1.5 meters away, 1.5 meters of it's pretty good high-spec coax, which then feeds the dish. And yes, I've got the LMB with the ice cone feed helix antenna. Now, I did previously have the, well, I've still got it, the DX Patrol helix antenna as well, Terry, and there is only a slight difference, to be quite honest with you. I've not found an awful lot of difference. The ice cone feed has got the edge. It has a bit more gain, but the thing that I've found mostly with both of those antennas, and particularly the ice cone feed, is that it does actually cast a shadow across the LNB on the RX, and so yeah, there are some, there is some loss in gain there. So I have got another dish. I'm thinking of using both dishes at the same time and having the TX on one and then the RX on the other there, Terry. Both 80 centimeter dishes that I've got on tripods, but currently, yeah, that's where we are with it. I've also looked at some of the other options of being able to use a box that runs on IP, but I'm going to see how I go. But I mean, it all works fine, and it'd be fine if I wanted to go out and work portable with it as well, Terry. And what else was I going to tell you about? Oh yes, very good. You've got it all separate. I think it makes it a little bit easier. And yes, completely agree with you. Obviously, not prone to any propagation, but I find there's not that many G stations on here at all, Terry. It's mostly European stations. It seems to be a lot more popular in Europe. But what a fantastic facility there, Terry. Really, really good indeed. G3MXH from M0XXJ.
Yeah, very fine. Mike 0 X-ray Juliet, G3 Mike X-ray Hotel. Yeah, excellent. All copied from you, and very interesting. We seem to run on parallel lines, really, in terms of our development. I've got you up QRZ.com, by the way. I can see your table. I can't see you sitting there, but I can see your table on QRZ.com and your setup, and I can see the patio where you're talking about to keep your feeder length down, which is always the issue, of course, for this kind of arrangement. So yeah, we run on a similar basis. But yeah, I agree. I think that I worked a German station the other day, and he was quite critical about the DX Patrol Helix. He reckoned it was more of a dummy load than anything. That's the way he described it. To some extent, I agree with him. To an extent, really. I think the first thing is I had to adjust the SWR of the helix. It can be adjusted, which they don't talk about, but I've managed to adjust it to get much better SWR for the linear. The linear amp I've got has got an SWR measurement, so I can tune. I tuned it for a dip in the SWR, so it's not too bad. I don't think it's 1-to-1, but it's not far off now. So that's the first thing. So yeah, and I think that, and you've raised a very important point about the shadow effect on receive. I think that could be some of my problem on receive. I'm not quite there on receive yet. So like you, I've got another 80 centimeter dish. I'm going to put it right just above the existing dish on the stub pole on the back of the garage, and use another antenna. I've got another potty antenna, which is actually not a helix, it's a dipole, but I may well put another helix on. Anyway, the principle is to just use another dish on the uplink to improve matters. I've got the dish, so I don't see why I shouldn't use it, and get it that way, and put the grey box with all the gubbindry in it, keep the feeder down between the two, so I can keep my feeder loss. I'm using it's a 1.2 meter feed to the LMD, and I'm using EcoFlex 10 at the moment, and there is some loss, of course, but it's about the best I could do. I've got some EcoFlex here, so I use EcoFlex 10, which is kind of okay, and that was the arrangement. So that's the setup, and that's the plan for the future. So there we go. Still do us operating on HF. Still quite a bit of operating on HF, and I like to operate CW as well. So I mix and match really, but it's quite good to be able to do both. Okay, back to you, and I hope you're still copying okay. Mike 0, X-ray, X-ray, Juliet, G3, Mike X-ray, Hotel, over.
G3 Mike X-ray Hotel from Mike 0 X-ray X-ray Juliet. 100% copy there all the way through, Terry. Absolutely perfect copy, and very, very interesting indeed that we're thinking along the same lines. Completely agree, and I'm already sort of thinking about it. I heard you say earlier you've just got back from holiday, and the same with me as well, so I haven't really done much until this afternoon, but also I enjoy HF as well. Very, very enjoyable taking part in HF contests as well, which I quite enjoy if we're getting extra points for the club. Hi. And all good on the EcoFlex. I'm just looking at the cable. I can see it here. It's the Ultraflex 13. So it's the 13. It's the largest that you can get. I have experimented with slightly longer, but you do lose a bit of gain there, Terry. And it would be interesting what you've got in your settings there. But essentially, on the 9700, same as you, I've got the uplink using 70 SEMS and then 2 meters on the downlink, and I can see you very clearly on the waterfall, and I'm monitoring you on my headset, which drives me crazy when I'm talking because obviously there is a slight delay on it. I've got the preamp on the receive, Terry. I've got a compression switched on because I found out before that it wasn't as effective without any compression. I do have to have the RAT on as well because I've noticed the Groundstation transmits about 30 odd hertz off in my configuration, and I use number 2 filter, and so that seems to be the optimum. In terms of transmit, I've used it on 2%, but I'm currently on 4%, and I noticed that I'm outputting an average of around 10 watts, just under 10 watts, but it does raise the SWR very slightly, but the SWR meter on the Groundstation 2 is pretty good, Terry, because you get a very good display on that, and you can see in real time what's happening on the transmit. But yeah, I think, as you say, we're in similar trajectories, and I did originally find it very difficult, Terry, to get a fix on the satellite, and it was incredibly fine, the tuning I found. And originally I set it up partway down the garden, where I could see that I had a line of sight view of the satellite, but then latterly, to my satisfaction, I noticed I could also operate just outside the conservatory, which is absolutely fine, because I can just put the coax through there with the LMB feed as well, and it works really well. It was quite windy just now, and I noticed that even that has an impact on the RX, and I presume on the TX as well. So yeah, it's very, very finely balanced, incredible. I've got it mounted on a lighting, one of those large lighting tripods. So you know, it needs to be sort of tightened up quite a bit to make sure it doesn't move around. And you've got the advantage with it being in a fixed position there, Terry. But yeah, it's all working very, very well indeed. And many congratulations on your setup. I think it's far preferable to the Heath Robinson that I have, Terry. G3MXH from M0XXJ.
Yeah. M0 XXJ G3 Mike X-ray Hotel. Yes, all copied, John. And there's interesting what you found with the 9700 settings. You're absolutely right. I use filter 2 is good. Preamp I have in. I do exactly the opposite to you though. I'm 2 meters up and 70 sems down. Now I couldn't make my mind up which way I was going to be on that. But anyway, that's what I've chosen. Maybe it might be worth me changing it round to have 70 sems up and 2 meters down. But I got the display okay. I can see the display on the 70 sems okay. I can see all the beacons and yourself on there on the display. It's not large, but it's good enough. I'm using log 40M as well for the log stuff. I use a separate database for my logging on satellite, log 40M. Because I may do some other satellite stuff. I'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's just finish up on the setup, Granger. Yes, the offset, there is an offset, of course, which I've got the same as yours. My compression is 5, set at 5. Do you use a headset arrangement? I've always believed in headsets, although the microphones, the Icom microphones are very good. I still prefer a headset, and a headset that's compatible to the Icoms. In particularly, they must be or should be electret or capacitor type, condenser type microphones. And I'm using a headset for that, special one just for the 9700 for all the VHF bands it covers as well. So that's that. And the alignment, very tricky. I actually used my 9700. I've got a spare. I got an IC 9700 here, and I just used that to spot the beacon on where I could see the S meter. If it's not an SDI, not got a spectrum display, but just the S meter, which I could clearly see in the sunshine. The problem was lining it up with SDR Play on the computer on a laptop outside. It was very, very difficult to see the screen. You could hear it okay on the phones, but that's not the same thing. I wanted to see it, line it up. But I think I've done it fairly well, but I'm never always happy, I must say. But anyway, we've got it there and thereabouts. One thing I was going to ask you, John, what S meter reading do you read the beacons on? What S meter do you see I think, well, it'll be on your case. In your case, it'll be 2 meters, but I wonder what S meter reading you have on receive. I think mine is a little high. I've got the gain set a little bit high on the downlink. on the downlink on the DX Patrol. You've got inside. You've got an adjustment, haven't you, for the that it might be a little bit high, but mine is reading S9. But the noise level is a little bit high. It's about F2 or 3. It should be better about S1, I think. But anyway, that needs a bit of fine tuning, but nothing much really. It's just to be, I think, to give the best signal to noise ratio on receive, and that makes the difference. Anyway, that's enough for now. But thanks very much for all your info there. And it's good fun. I think it's a go-to band. If bands are not good on HF, then you can always do this and have a bit of a natter, which is quite good. I find the station's very helpful, I must say. Mike 0, X-ray, Juliet, G3, Mike X-ray Hotel.
G3 Mike X-ray Hotel from Mike 0, X-ray Juliet, all copied again there, Terry. And just very quickly then, on the 9700 I have the gain set where you see you can set there's two RX ports. There's a TX and RX port, and then there is a separate RX port as well on the back of the DX Patrol. And so from the TX-RX and the gain setting that I've got, you are, the beacon is S5, and then on my SDR, which is attached to the RX, I'm getting you at the moment S9, but I presume that you have, I'm not sure about your setup, but with me, I have to tune my SDR separately to the radio. So the radio's on sat mode, but I don't have an IF out on the 9700, and so I use a DX Patrol to output the RX, but I have to tune that separately. And of course, when I'm doing that, it's a real palaver, and that's the only way then I can get the frequency right. Now, I also use log for old man, but I haven't got it all synced up, so I don't have to put the frequency in manually, Terry. I also use it for HF, and it works fine. I've got everything working very nicely with my 7610, but what I'd like to do ideally is get an IF module for the 9700 and then feed my SDR through that, and then sync that with the computer. But something that I will get round to doing, Terry. Just one very last thing before I let you go. What is the RF power that you're using on 2 meters on your 9700? That would just be one thing I'm interested in, because I'm currently using 3% on 77s, which is my output. Just one other little thing is that I did actually start off with TXing on 2 meters and then downlink on 77s, and I found that the receive wasn't quite as good, Terry, but that could be just me in my initial setup, and I swapped it round and it seemed to be better, but again, it could be down to several factors there, Terry. Anyway, sorry for nattering on so long. Very, very good to meet you, and I better go and have a cup of tea soon, I think. Very, very good speech. I hope we can talk again there, Terry, and catch up with our parallel progress. G3MXH from M0XXJ.
Yeah, M0XXJ, G3 Mike X-ray Hotel. Yes, okay, John. Well, of course, you've got the DX control box. It's got more facilities on, I would think, to the sound of it, which I'm unfamiliar with. I've got nothing other than when I look at my SDR, I've got the little tiny SDR display on receive on 77s, which is the third display on the front of the IC-9700, and I see the signals quite clearly, but they're not big. I then, as a check, of course, use something like the QO-100 web SDR website, not the German one, not the Goonhilly one. I find the German one a lot better. and use that to just, and it's not obviously synced, and no way is it synced, and and of course there's a further time delay as well, but it does give you an indication of what the signal to noise ratio is in dB rather than S-meter reading. So that's quite a useful facility. I think now that first question. The other one is the reason why I picked a 2-meter uplink, John, was I had to lose power. I had to lose some power. I wanted to have a better power adjustment from the output of the IC-9700 on transmit. So the answer to your question, my transmit percentage RF power is 8% into the up converter SDR. Now that requires no more than, well, nominally 3 watts, but certainly no more than 5 or 6 watts, I think they quote. So the reason why I've done it is I'm using on that uplink RG58, would you believe, on 2 meters, which gives me my 3 dB loss for the link. I've measured it, and I've done an insertion loss check, and it gives me a 3 dB loss. So it gives me a bit more flexibility on the control of my RF power out of the 9700. So I just use a cheap old, good RG58, but RG58 is not very healthy on 2 meters, of course, for normal work, but it does give me my natural 3.5 dB loss, which gives me better flexibility on my control of power out of the 9700. So there we are, that's it. I'm sure we'll work again, but anyway, that's enough to be going on with, I think. As you say, let's have a cup of tea and draw a bit of breath. But great to work with you, John, and do appreciate a contact, very good first contact. Mike 0, X-ray, Juliet, G3 Mike X-ray Hotel.
G3 Mike X-ray Hotel from Mike 0 X-ray Juliet. Thank you there, Terry. Very, very helpful to know, and good to compare notes, and let's catch up again soon. I think that I'm recording this, so if I've recorded it okay, I'll send you a link if you're on QRZ. I presume that you are there, Terry. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for the lovely QSO, longest QSO I've had on QO-100. So it's definitely a record, and I wish you 7-3, and I hope to speak to you again soon, Terry. Thank you very much. G3MXH, this is M0XXJ, clearing after listening briefly. 7-3.
Yeah, very fine. Yes, okay, that's good. And I'm sure we'll work again. All my details are on QR. Well, not all of them. I've got to update the satellite bit, but all the essential stuff is on my QRZ.com page there, John. Okay, wish you 7-3 then, and we'll continue the chat, I'm sure, at a slightly later date. Mike 0, X-ray, Juliet in West London, Golf 3, Mike X-ray Hotel in the mid-Suffolk is off and cleared. Cheers, John. Take care.